Happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome to Daily Stock Market Analysis. Well, let's start with Bitcoin. And you can see Bitcoin is now pumping almost up 0.6%. This is live market. This is basically Wednesday, almost 10 p.m. Eastern. You can see here before we had this resistance around 32K, and look Bitcoin how it broke. This is how you break resistance. A massive candle, I think 5 or 6% candle, and that's the perfect way of breaking a resistance. This candle was almost, oh my god, almost 15%. Take my words back, almost 15% candle. And you can see why we were seeing this. If you watch my video from last couple of days, I was saying Bitcoin is making higher highs, higher lows, and it's changing trend. You can see higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, and now we are making another high. We can come back to get support here, and then we're gonna bounce. And my target from now until end of this year is this next resistance around 40 to 42K. Okay, you can see on daily chart a lot of confluence here, a lot of times Bitcoin interacted here, found resistance here, and now that's my target. We can see short term on a daily chart, you can see background of RSI very oversold. So we can see a little bit of cool down, and you can see moving averages is now pointed to the upwards direction. So let me actually get rid of this indicator now. So you can see we can get a little bit of cool down, and then we can find support around 31 to 32K. If we get a little bit of cool down, look to buy it. All right, we're just breaking out straight line up. So if we get a little bit of consolidation and go a little bit lower, that would be good time to buy. And you can see this here daily chart around Monday 11th of September, we made a new low. But you can see what happened here. It was divergent low. What does that mean? Price was going lower on a daily chart, and then RSI was going higher. Okay, so that's a divergence. So that's how we anticipate change in trend. Okay, so you can see here what I'm trying to tell you here. Price was going lower at this time, and RSI was higher. Okay, and then it eventually broke out. All right, so now we got a buy signal here on Monday 16th of October. This big candle here, that was a buy signal. It made a flag, bull flag, and it just broke out. Okay, so now it's going straight up, parabolic move, but you can see short term very oversold. So be a bit careful. 1 hour chart, you can see a little bit of divergence, not yet. You can see we made a new high. Still RSI showing no signs of divergence. Little bit of divergence, I would say. You can see very little bit of divergence. If I draw RSI, very little divergence. You can see new high. This high is higher than this high, and RSI is diverging. So this is a little bit of higher going there. So just be a bit careful short term. We could get a little bit of pullback. But anyhow, my target for end of this year from here, from now until that time, is going to be almost 20% away, around 40 to 42K. All right. So be very careful shorting. Look to buy instead of short. Look to buy the dip. And if you go in this zone, look to buy it. All right. Ethereum, same thing. Ethereum is still a little bit weaker, but you can see if you're watching me, following me, we were in this support line. This was a big green box around 15K, and we got this buy signal again on Ethereum on 20th of October, and now we're going higher. Good news is now you can see this blue line, daily blue line. This is daily 200 SMA, and now we are closing above that. Okay, so you can see we closed above it yesterday, actually today, and now live future, which is Wednesday. Now we're closing above it. As long as we stay above it, Ethereum's next target is around 2000. So that's the biggest resistance now, and I expect Ethereum to have a massive move. So Bitcoin can stabilize now, and that will give opportunity to altcoin like Ethereum and other coins to bounce. All right, so from here Ethereum can go massive move. It can have 1 day candle around 6 to 7% anytime. Okay, that's what it happens. Bitcoin usually goes first, and then it stabilizes. That gives opportunity to Ethereum and other coins to bounce. All right, so be very careful. I think it's a good time to buy Ethereum. We could be looking for a massive bounce very soon on Ethereum. Okay, so look out for that. All right, so that's end of crypto. Let's quickly go to traditional market. You can see S&P 500. What's happening here? Same thing. We made a new low on Monday. You can see this candle, new low. We are still below 200 SMA, but this is divergent low. You can see RSI still higher. So we are forming divergences on RSI. So same like Bitcoin, we're forming divergences across the board. So what does that mean? We're going lower on higher momentum. All right. So you can see on contrast to this, you can see here we made a new high on divergence on RSI here. You can see it's the other way around. Okay. We were going lower momentum. We made a new high here on July 23rd, 2023 with divergent high. All right. So now we're making divergent low. So what does that mean? We are ready for a massive rally. So be very careful shorting. Time to short is not here. Time to short was here when we were making divergent high. Same thing with Nasdaq. As you can see, we made a new low on Monday. Same thing here. We have divergences on Nasdaq. We have divergence on S&P 500, even Dow Jones. Actually, we did not make a new low here, but Russell 2000 is showing that. You can see massive low here, still on divergence. You can see across the board we have divergences happening throughout all indices. All right. So yeah, so be very careful shorting the market. New lows are forming on divergence, so I will be very careful shorting VIX. A massive downside. You can see this red box here. I was expecting resistance here, and that's where VIX is finding resistance. Now it's selling off. So almost 7% sells down candle, and I'm expecting, you can see cycle low is coming here around December 15th or 12th. So I'm expecting it to go and break down here. That's going to be bullish for the entire stock market. All right. Triple Qs, which is Nasdaq, you can see we are back on support. We already discussed Nasdaq US 100. We're back on support, massive support around here, this big box around 350s, 351, and we came back to support. We can support here August 18, support here 27th September, came back again here 6th October, and now again we are here on 23rd of October. So massive support here. And this is where you want to buy. We're on support. You buy on support, and then now there's another resistance coming here, downward sloping trend line. So this line is right now as of 370. All right. So that's the next resistance. So from here, we can get massive bounce around 3%. That can happen in a day. It's possible, and then we can get a little bit pullback, and then we bounce. All right. So just be mindful of that. And again, my target for end of the year is new all-time high 409. So even if you buy here, if you can hold till December, a couple of months, we are looking for almost around 14-15% pump from here. So you can see here to new all-time high, almost 14-15%. Okay, so be mindful of that, and be very careful shorting this market. Gold, again, consolidating after massive pump. If I go to 1 hour chart, you can see here new highs on lower momentum. Same thing here, lower RSI, lower high. And gold is same thing as other like Bitcoin, little bit consolidation now. We can go a little bit lower around 1940s. You can find support, and then we can bounce from here. And I'm looking for new highs. Same thing on gold, looking for new highs to break 2000 very, very soon. Maybe next couple of weeks or to the end of this year. And you can make a new high. Silver now still struggling to go above this resistance trend line, white line, struggling here. We tried to close above that, but next day we broke down, and now we're finding support. That's okay, nothing is broken. It's good to get a little bit of cool down, and silver is just consolidating before we get a massive candle, and we are looking for new high eventually from here to end of this year. All right, natural gas consolidating, found support on this light blue 200 EMA, a little bit broke below that, but now again massive rally. So it's just made a higher low from you can see higher high, higher low. Now we're looking for this gap fill. From here my target is this 4.34. UNG is the ETF from today's close, almost 31-32% away. All right. Crude oil, massive downside. Look, you can see I changed nothing. It's following my projection, which I was thinking. So it's for now in support area. It will consolidate here, make like a flag, and then eventually I'm looking for crude oil to break down and go to new lows and find support around mid 70s. All right. Dollar index, again in the support box, same thing. I was expecting it to break down, so it's making higher lows. So it's the change in trend. So it made a new low. So from going from higher highs, higher lows to lower high, lower low, we can get a little bit of bounce, and then eventually going lower. And this is very good news for Bitcoin, stocks, and gold. Already covered Bitcoin, Tesla. A gap here, you can see we gap up, so we can come back a little bit tomorrow. It's possible, fill this gap, and then we can go higher. Short term, my target is this gap fill around 238. Netflix looking very nice. This big gap here, I don't know when that gap is going to be filled. The good news is it closed above this 50 daily SMA. 2 days, 3 days in a row, actually 4 days in a row, which is very good news. Look to buy all the pullbacks. The target is 475 from here. Apple also looking good. Back on this support box, looking for a massive support here to hold, and then eventually it should pump. Microsoft earnings today, and I think it's going to gap up. Earnings were good, so looking for a gap up, and it's going to probably open maybe at this gap fill. Let's see how it goes, but I think I'm looking for new all-time highs. Google was down after earnings. Let's wait and see how it opens. But if it comes back on this support box here around 128, 129, look to buy. This is a massive support area, so it can buy. You can buy there. Facebook. Earnings are, I think, when is it? Earnings are tomorrow, end of day. So we'll see how it goes. It's a coin flip for now. But if it can hold, its target is again here. Just remember, if earnings are bad, there is this big gap here, which can be filled. Google earnings, stocks are selling down. So if Meta earnings, you can see big divergence are here. So chart is telling me we'll get big dump. But let's see what happens. Okay, chart is showing lower momentum on new highs. So we'll see how it goes. All right. Amazon, you can see here, Amazon is holding support, found support on this 200 EMA, and now it's bouncing. So it can make higher highs, higher lows, and eventually it's going to go high. Snowflakes, looking for bounce. This gap here, multiple gaps, looking for those to fill. NVDA, also this gap is here, still not filled. Looking for these two gaps to fill. These yellow lines here. AMD also, you can see this gap here around 106, so looking for that gap to fill. Toronto Stock Exchange, multiple gaps, consolidating. Maybe it will make a new low on divergence if it makes, and then looking for multiple gaps to fill towards the end of this year. Hang Seng Index, good news, closed above this downward sloping trend line, finding resistance on this white 20 EMA. Let's see if it can hold here. This is good news. This looks like a breakout candle. So if it can, also there's divergence. You can see same thing here, new low on divergence. It can find support and then bounce from here. All right, let's quickly look at bonds. New low again on divergence, so it keeps going lower. So wait for this trend line, dotted trend line to go, price to break it before you can buy. Copper in the buy box, this is where you want to buy. CPER is the ETF. Palladium also trying its best to go above, right on this resistance now, 1139. Let's see if it can support and bounce from here. If it bounces, 1190 is the big resistance. Wheat, you can see here, bullish falling wedge, higher momentum on RSI, broke out, it can backtest, and then again it can go, and then this is where you want to buy on a backtest of this. Struggling on 50 SMA. Let's wait for it to close above that to buy again. Next resistance is this line, which is 200 EMA and 200 SMA, around 14% away. Corn also holding nicely, new lows on divergence, so consolidating before a bounce up. That's what I'm thinking. Soybeans is in the support box here. SOYB is the ETF. Sugar also looking for backtest of this trend line before it can go higher. So far it's finding support on it's above all moving averages, which is good news. But if it makes a new high, it's going to be a divergent high on RSI. So let's just be careful on that. Look to take profits on this. Let's look at stocks. Newmont Mine, gaps here. Let's look for this gap to fill, then bounce. Gold miner flat. Looking for a little bit of consolidation that we are getting. So it's ready to bounce anytime from here. Let's quickly look at sectors. XLK, looking for new highs. XLE, there's another gap here. So let's wait for this gap to fill. Then can try to go again higher. XLV, healthcare, again, divergent low. You can see a new low made on divergence. You can see RSI is higher. So let's see if it can go close above that. That's going to be good news. XLU, utility sector. Let's go to 1 hour chart. Did that gap fill? No, there's a gap here. So you can see here, there's a resistance here around $60. So it can make a higher low. Perfect time to make a higher low here and then bounce. Industrial sector, again, divergence, new low on divergence. There's a gap here around 97. Let's see if it can fill. If it fills, that's going to be divergent low, and that will be good area to buy. 97.74. XLRE, real estate, same thing. Divergence are happening on all sectors, all indices, so which is good news. So be very careful. You don't want to short on divergence. You want to short on lower momentum when we are near all-time high. Same thing with XLF. Gap is filled. This gap is massively filled. Another gap here, 30.89. but that's too far. Looking for a bounce here. Again, same thing, divergence on financial sector as well. So across the board, we're getting divergence. KRE, same thing again, new low with divergence. So good news for the bulls. We are getting divergence. So we are getting set up for a massive rally. All right, guys, that's it for today. And let's quickly look at short-term this indicator. By the way, guys, if you like the content, if you want to subscribe, there's a link in the description of this channel, sorry, and you can join a free Discord channel. And then if you want to make some money, there's also basically a link to join subscription. It's like $7 a month. You can make for the entire year subscription in one trade. So basically what happens is this is what I shared with pre-subscriber pre-market levels with my subscribers. You can see these are the zones, short-term zones. In one day you can make easy profits. So US 1500 one day it went from sell zone, which are these red lines, to the buy zone, which are the green lines. And you can see even on NASDAQ 100, the same thing, sell zone to a neutral line and then below. And from below, it went to again sell zone. You can see NASDAQ 100 did exactly same. Okay, so I share these lines. So anyhow, subscribe if you want to know about this. In one trade, you can make a lot of profit. So NASDAQ 100, S&P 500 near neutral zone right now. So this is no trade zone near white zone. So we sell near red lines, we buy near green lines. NASDAQ 100, same thing, near neutral line. So nothing to do here. So we'll wait for tomorrow. US 30 Dow Jones near neutral and sell zone. If it goes about 3332, you should sell here. And Russell 2000 is also near neutral zone. So most of the indices are near neutral zone. So basically we just wait. And do the patient game. But guys, if you're here on your way out, hit the like button and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.